a lot of people ask how I get so much work done. You know that I work in a salon 3 days a week. I make content 5 days a week. That's 8 days. I get 8 days worth of work done in 7 days. Obviously, I do double duty on at least one of those days. I want to show you the 3 things that I do to optimize my time, to optimize my knowledge, and to stay ahead of my competition, because I'm not interested in competing. I want to dominate my field. When you're competing, you heard me say this, you're always looking over your shoulder all the time to see who's creeping up on you. I'm not interested in doing that. I want to dominate. I want to be the sharpest in what I do and be the best. I play to win, and I want you to do the same. So I'm going to show you 3 things. The first thing that I do is I'm very inquisitive. You really need to be like a wonder child in the sense, like if you ever had a kid follow you around. I remember when I was raising my children, my daughter would be like, "Why, Dad? Why is that? Why is it like that? What is that for?" Just constantly. And it's just a nice little reminder for adults to be a wonder child. You think you stop learning when you graduate from high school, or that when you're over 5 foot tall. Your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to learn every single day, somehow, some way. I've always said I would rather be the most interested man in the world than the most interesting man in the world. And by interest, I mean interested in you, interested in the people that are sitting next to me, interested in the people that I work with, interested in the people that I work for. That's one of the keys to optimizing and dominating, not just competing in your field, but dominating your field, is have an insatiable interest in other people and other things. So in a sense, I'm almost mimicking my children by saying, what is that for? What's the value of that? What's the benefit of that? How does that work? That's number 1. Number 2 is I read constantly, and I read everything. If you saw my physical library, it's literally walls from floor to ceiling of books in many, many different categories. I have read so much. Number 1, when you read better, you will speak better. And when you speak better, you will earn more. It's a fact. The verdict is back from the jury. When you speak well, you earn more. But do I always have time to read? I don't. So what do I do when I don't have time to literally open a book? A lot of times I like double tasking. For instance, if I'm doing laundry, if I'm driving, if I'm cleaning, if I'm making dinner, if I'm just doing mindless kind of work where I already have the motions down and I really don't have to think, I can focus on information. For instance, when you read a book, you're sitting down, you're opening it up, you need peace and quiet, you need dedication to what you're reading if you want it to sink in, if you want the comprehension to be at its peak. I don't always have time to do that because I work literally 8 days a week. So literally asking questions, inquisition is number 1. Number 2 is reading. Just read whenever you can. Number 3 is listening to books. Yeah, listening. So you pop on your headphones and you're doing your work, you're driving, and you're listening to data. You're listening to how to be better in your health, how to do business better, how to write better, how to relate to people better. I do it all the time. The problem is, in today's age, it's hard to find the time to sit down and read with all the distractions. But there is a solution for that, and it's called Blankest, like you blink your eyes, Blankest.com. It's an app. I highly recommend this. Blankest is the only application that takes the best nonfiction books, thousands of them, and condenses them down into 15 minutes, all the gold nuggets, all the key points in some of the best authors that you've ever heard of. And you know when you get a book, Many times you don't read the whole thing, if you're honest with yourself. You have a ton of unfinished books. How would you like to have an app that literally just brings out the key points of what an author takes 2, 3, or 400 pages to talk about, and hear them all in 15 minutes? Right now, as I'm talking to you, there's 8 million people using Blankest for self-help, business, health, nonfiction topics, thousands of titles. I like Blankest because, number one, it's on my phone, right here. Simple. I pop on the headphones and I listen while I'm driving. I listen while I'm working around the house. And you know I'm super busy and I don't have a lot of time. Many times when I'm chilling, I just like to just relax and not be reading. I just want to just relax and do nothing. This allows me to learn while I'm doing nothing. 2 books that I highly recommend you listening to on Blankest are How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. It's an absolute classic. In 15 minutes, you're going to hear the highlights of this book. The other one that I love is called Getting Things Done. Another book that I can recommend is called Emotional Intelligence by Daniel Goleman. I read the book cover to cover, but I forgot everything. All I know is that I think, personally, you know me, that emotions can be your enemy, and that many of you might be really smart IQ-wise, but what is your emotional intelligence? Daniel Goleman talks about how to become more emotionally intelligent. That's another book you need. I would put that on your reading list right away. Right now, if you go to the Blankest app, just download the app on your phone, you can get a 7-day free trial, and it's Blankest.com/George. Blankest, let me spell it for you. Blink, like you blink your eyes, Blinkist. Blankest.com/George. I'm going to put a link for everything down below. You'll get a 7-day free trial. Anytime during that 7 days, if you want to cancel, you can. Remember, it's Blankest, Blinkist. Blinkist.com/George. For those of you who don't know how to spell George, it's George. Again, I'll make it simple for you. I'll put the link down below. Remember, the 7-day trial is completely free with no strings attached. What have you got to lose? For the first 100 people to go to Blinkist.com/George, you're going to get full unlimited access to the library at Blankist. And you can cancel at any time. And remember, if you choose to get the full membership, it's 25% off. That's a pretty good deal. You could potentially read the key points of a book. 1 a day, 1 book a day. When was the last time that you read a book a day and came away with the key points? Let me ask you this. With the last book that you read, can you tell me what the key points are? I bet you can't without opening that book back up. This is the benefit of Blankest. The impact of that on your life is, number one, you're going to create more neural pathways because you're learning. You're going to speak better. You're going to earn more. It always leads to better things in your life. There's no downside. If you're like me, you're busy and you don't have time. You're either a student in high school, college, or a busy working person like me. You want to learn. Turn the TV off. Turn Blankest on. I'll put the link down below. Blinkist.com/George. 7 days. Full access to the library. If for any reason you don't like it, cancel at any time. And then if you decide to have the full membership, it's 25% off. It's pretty darn good. When the folks at Blankest wanted me to do a video and sponsor something that will benefit you, I immediately jumped on it. And I'm happy that they sponsored this video because I don't want to offer to you something that I wouldn't use myself. So, 1 week from now, after your 7-day trial, I want you to tell me what books that you listened to, and I want to see how it changed your life. Please let me know.